So we have Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier for the lightweight championship at 155 pounds coming up this weekend. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you guys can place a bet on this fight, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the betting odds. And also, I'll be sharing some ways for you to spice it up and make a lot more money, maybe 5, 10, 50, or even 100 times your money this week if you hit these bets right. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you join Bovada. It's the #1 sports book. I'll place a link in the description where you can score up to a $250 welcome bonus, and go ahead and join me on the inside after. So here I am. So we got Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is a -165, Charles Oliveira +134. So Dustin Poirier is actually the favorite. Charles Oliveira is the champion right now. So what this means is if you were to place a bet on Dustin Poirier for an equal amount of money, you would win a lot less by betting on Poirier versus Oliveira. Okay, because he's a favorite, Oliveira's the underdog, even though he's the champion. A lot of people are predicting that Dustin Poirier will be the winner. So at -165, so we're gonna use just $100. You would win $60.61 by betting on Dustin Poirier, and of course you get your $100 back. This is the amount you win on top of what you are betting. So $60, but check this out. On Oliveira, you're gonna win more than 2 times that. So you bet 100, you win 135. So that's more than 2x. That's because he is a underdog. So this lightweight matchup will be taking place this Saturday, and I'll show you guys some prop bets as well. So if you want to change it up a little bit over here and you want to make more of a prediction on this bet, so you could go to method of victories. Here are some of the prop bets. So Charles Oliveira wins inside the distance. That's a +175. If he wins by round 5 decision, meaning it goes the distance, that's a +625. At a +625, you're making about 6 to 7 times your money. You bet $100, you would win $625. Okay, you get your 100 back, and now you get $625. You just 7x your money if this happens. So you can pick Dustin Poirier wins by round 5 decision. So if you think this fight's going the distance, you would take a bet over here, right? Why would you just want to make $60 on $100 or $600 on $1,000? Let's say you're betting 1,000 on Dustin Poirier, right? At 165, you're betting 1,000. You're only making $606. That same 1,000, if you think it's gonna go the distance and Poirier is gonna win, now you got 5,500, right? So I mean, a lot of fights do go the distance, right? So if he wins by round 5 decision, right? If it goes to the judge's scorecard and you bet over here, you're gonna make 5.5 times your money. In this case, it would be $5,500 over here. So now you could bet on the method of victory over here. So let's say you think Oliveira is gonna win. How does he win? Does he win by knockout, TKO? Does he win by decision over here? So if you think it's a decision, it's going the distance, go with the +625. If you think knockout, go with the 650 over here. And you can also do multiple bets, right? So let's say you think Oliveira is going to win, but you don't know if it's going to be a decision or a submission or if it's going to be a knockout, right? But you don't think it's going to be a submission. So obviously submission odds, you're getting a lower payout because he's a specialist, right, when it comes to submissions. But we did see in the last fight, he did knock out Michael Chandler, right? And that's something Justin Gaethje was not able to do in the last fight. So let's say you think knockout, right? But you think it might go to decision. You could go ahead and split the money. Put 500 here, put 500 here, right? Even if you lose one of them, you're going to make 7 times your money on the bet you win. Does that make sense? So here's a little strategy I'm giving you guys over here. You think it's going to be either knockout or decision, right? Put 100 on each. Or put 500 on each. Let's just say you put 1,000 on each, okay? Now you got 1,000 here, 1,000 here. You think it's one or the other. You're going to make 7 times your money, right? On that 1,000. So it's okay if you lose 1,000 because you're going to make 7,250 or 7,500 over here. So here are some other methods of victory over here too. Let's see what's high odds over here. So obviously if it's a draw, a very low chance, you're going to make 55 times your money. You put 1,000 in over here, you would win $55,000. And guys, don't worry, this isn't the way that I was going to show you guys to make 50 to 100 times your money. I'm still going to show you guys that, okay? We'll get there in just a second, okay? So over here, let's say you want to do round betting. So let's say you want to pick the round, right? Like Conor McGregor says, right? Like, I don't just knock him out. I pick the round. Let's say you want to pick the round. Poirier, round 5. Is it 2,000 over here? Okay, plus 2,000. So let me just put in the bet slip so you guys have a better idea. You bet $1,000, you make 20 grand if he wins in round 5. That same 1,000, let's say you think Oliveira is going to win in round 5. You make 28 times your money. You bet 1,000, you make 28 grand. Okay? And there's so many different ways you can bet on here, right? Dustin Poirier by submission round 5, right? Dustin Poirier by knockout, TKO/knockout, stoppage round 5, right? So you could go ahead and take a look at this. You don't have to bet on the fight. You could go on the total rounds, over, under, right? Is this fight going over? If you think it's going to end in 1 round, you would take the under right here, right? That's why it's a half, because it can't go half a round, right? So if you think it's going to go under or over, right? So half, that's kind of weird. It should say, how can it go under? Oh yeah. So yeah, that makes sense actually. Sorry. So half a round, this is saying it's gonna end in the first round. You would take the plus, if you think it's gonna end in the first round, like it's gonna be an early knockout or submission, you would take the plus 425 over here. So you could go ahead and just bet on the rounds. Doesn't matter who wins over here, right? Is the fight gonna like go past 1 round, right? Is it gonna complete 3 full rounds, 4 rounds? Is it gonna go the distance? If it goes the distance, you make 2.8 times your money right here. It's a plus 280. Okay, what round is it gonna end in? Don't even have to pick a winner over here. You think it's gonna end in round 5? Plus 1,000. Take your 100, turn it into 1,000 over here. So many different ways to bet, right? So a lot of people talk about who's gonna win. Did you bet on the fight? You don't necessarily just have to go over here and just pick a winner. So many different ways, like I just showed you guys, right? And here we go. Let's go back to UFC real quick. I have a full video on this. This is called a parlay, okay? Let's say you think Oliveira is gonna win. You take him. You take Cody Garbrandt over here. So instead of betting on each fight individually, you combine them, okay? Let's say Sean O'Malley over here. Let's pick some underdogs now, right? So that's 4 fights, 5 fights. We're at a plus 2. Take a look at this number, okay? We're at a plus 2701. Take another underdog. Now we're at a plus 5867 with 6 fights, right? You risk 1,000, you win $58,000 over here. 58,665. You have to nail all these fights though. So you can do 2 picks, 3 picks, 4 picks, 5, 6. Take it all the way up to 10. You know, it's up to you. So let's add one more. Look at what it does over here. Now we're at 160 times our money. You take 1,000, 7 fights. You think you can nail it? 160 grand payout. Okay, and obviously you can add even more over here, right? So if you add somebody that's a heavy favorite, it's not going to make much of a difference. So like, look at this. Amanda Nunes obviously just like dominates her opponents, right? Let's take her. She's a minus 950, right? Take a look at this number over here. It didn't go up by, I mean, it still went up by a decent amount, right? So now you're at 177 times your money. But like, take a look at this. I'm going to take Nunes out. And I'm going to take Juliana. That's a plus 575. Look at what happens to this number, okay? Haven't tried this yet, but like, look. Okay, that's crazy. So now we're at a plus 108,640. So that's what, 1,000 times your money. So if you bet $1,000 and you nail this parlay, you would make over $1 million over here. Yes, that's right, $1 million. But look how many fights that is. That's 8 picks, and we're taking a heavy underdog over here, right? Nunes is a heavy favorite. That's why there's such a big difference between these numbers. The bigger the difference between this, like, that just shows you guys how big of a favorite or how big of an underdog one of the fighters is. So that's called a parlay. I do have a full tutorial on that on my channel as well. I have many tutorials. Make sure to check them out. And once again, guys, if you haven't already joined Bovada, I'm going to place this link in the description over here, right? So go ahead and join using this link, and you'll score a $250 welcome bonus. There's other bonuses as well. You're going to get all of them by joining using my affiliate link, okay? And there's also another sports book, okay? This one's called MyBookie. I'll place the link in the description to this one also. This is another sports book I use from time to time. Bovada is my #1 choice, but sometimes I'll place bets over here. And the reason for that is the odds, okay? So I'll look at which book has better odds. So if I go back here to Oliveira Poirier, right? Let's say I'm betting on Oliveira. Over here, if I bet $100, I'm making $135, right? I'm a plus 135. If I go to my bookie, Now I'm a plus 130. So obviously I would bet this on Bovada because I'm going to get a higher payout. But Poirier is a minus 160 over here. And over here, he's a minus 165. So you're going to make maybe an additional $5 or so over here, right? So like if you were to bet here and you take Poirier, that same 100, you're going to make $62.50, right? Over there was $60. So if you're betting a lot, it does make a difference. So if you're betting like $1,000, right? Now you're pulling in an additional $20-25. So if you're betting in the thousands, sometimes these little discrepancies, these little differences make a huge difference in your payout. So go ahead and join both sportsbook. Place the bet on which one you like. This one has prop bets also, but not as many as you can see. 3 props. Bovada has everything. It's an all-in-one sportsbook. That's why I like it. I do everything on there. But once again, go ahead and join both. Let me know who your pick is for this weekend. Are you going with Oliveira? Are you going with Poirier? Me personally, I'm kind of rooting for Oliveira, even though Poirier is the favorite and everyone thinks he's going to win. I am kind of rooting for the underdog Oliveira over here. So we'll see how it plays out. Let me know in the comment section below.